It did nothing but cover up our insecurities and our anxieties. It was making me seek the easy way out, the comfortable choice, the path of least resistance. And then there was porn. In today's video, I want to be vulnerable with you guys. I remember the days when I used to lean into weed, alcohol, and pornography to relieve stress. On the surface, it felt harmless. Weed helped me unwind after a long day. Alcohol just simply added fun to social gatherings. And porn was just an easy, private fix that alleviated tension. But as time went on, these habits started to chip away at my potential, and they kept me in a cycle of temporary relief over long-term progress. Today, I simply want to give you guys the chance to not go down that path that I did. Welcome back to High Standard University. My name is Quincy, or the AKQ to go, your soon-to-be favorite smart dumb guy. My mission here, guys, is simple. I simply want to help you guys improve mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally. So if that's up your alley, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. Bust out your notes, grab some water, and let's talk about how these habits, no matter how good they feel in a moment, are most definitely holding you back. Looking back, I can see how holding on to these vices kept me from becoming the person I wanted to become. It's a bit hard to admit, but these habits were like shackles. They promised me comfort, pleasure, and escape. But instead, they weakened my ambition. They weakened my self-control. When I first started using these vices, I didn't think much about the long-term impact it would have. I wasn't using them consistently, just time to time to take the edge off. But little did I know, that's how the story always starts. As I got older and those responsibilities piled on, I realized how these toxic habits and vices influenced my day-to-day choices. They kept me in that cycle of seeking short-term pleasure over long-term gain. It became easy to procrastinate on my goals and delay doing hard things because subconsciously, I always knew that I had a quick escape from those hard things right there in front of me. Weed, for example, it had a way of making me feel carefree and calm. But that calmness and carefreeness came at a cost. My motivation would fade, and I would start pushing tasks, no matter how important they were, to later. I would have solid ideas, I would have great plans, and I would have great ambition. But after a couple puffs of the blunt, all that stuff would start to go by the wayside. And the more often that I used it, the more of lack of follow through became a habit for me. With alcohol, it was different, but kind of similar. Socially, it feels like a good thing to do to loosen up, laugh, and have a good time with your friends. But over time, I started to realize that those relationships were artificial. I started to realize that those friends that I was having drinks with were only around in my life when drinks were involved. Instead of getting closer with these people and building genuine connections, alcohol felt like a crutch for all of us. It did nothing but cover up our insecurities and our anxieties. We were all more interested in having fun than building meaningful connections. I started wondering to myself, was I actually being myself? Or was I just being a very numbed down version of myself? And then there was porn. It's a topic that many people avoid. Maybe it's out of shame, maybe it's out of embarrassment, or maybe it's because it's kind of acceptable and ingrained in our society today. But the truth is, for me and for a lot of you guys watching, is that it warped my perspective. It made me impatient. It chipped away at my ability to receive intimacy, and it gave me fucking ED. I found that it robbed me of energy and confidence. It wasn't something that I wanted to rely on, but yet I found myself doing it. It felt like an easy way to manage my stress and my loneliness, but I found out that the longer that I relied on it, the longer I struggled with my confidence and my sense of purpose. There were so many times where I had the opportunity to build a genuine connection with a woman, but rather it's because I was scared of having ED, or I was not confident because I know I had been I didn't. Those experiences never came, and I missed out on some great women, and it's still something today that I'm like, what the fuck, bro? As time went on, I started to notice the gaps in my personal growth. Where I once felt ambitious and eager, I became complacent, stuck in a cycle of quick fixes. I was so focused on short-term satisfaction that I gave up on long-term gains. What I didn't realize though is that these vices were shifting my brain's reward system. It was making me seek the easy way out, the comfortable choice, the path of least resistance. Each time I turned to one of those vices, I was teaching my brain to not worry about hard stuff. You got a blunt right there. Fuck your problems, smoke it and get rid of them. The first step of breaking free from these vices is understanding what impact these habits have on your life. It sounds simple, but taking an honest look at yourself and how these habits are affecting you is not easy, because you build up a comfort around them. You build a routine around them. Letting go seems scary because these habits were your go-to fixes for so long. But you know, just like I know, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to confront them. And it simply starts with the small steps. You don't have to eat the meal in one bite. First, reduce your frequency of those habits. Allow yourself to feel that discomfort and pain rather than masking it. If you're craving weed, do something to take your mind off of it. Distance yourself from the idea. If you're pulling towards porn, remind yourself, if you actually want to be taken seriously by a woman and experience intimacy, you have to let it go. There are healthier ways to manage your stress and relieve your tension. Over time, you'll realize, just like I did, that you can find satisfaction and relaxation from healthier means. Exercising, journaling, or simply talking to somebody that you trust became my go-to. And I'll be clear, none of them offered the instant hit like my old habits did, but they brought me a satisfaction that was deeper, more genuine, and longer lasting than those bullshit ass vices. As I let go of these toxic ass habits, something special started to happen. I started to reconnect with my authentic self. Without the feeling of weed, I felt sharper. I felt more productive. I felt more in line. Without alcohol, I was able to analyze my friend group and realize who was actually my friend and who was actually hanging out with me to get the buzz. Without porn, I found a deeper meaning in myself. I became more confident. I started walking different, and my went crazy. Letting go of these vices helped me realize the potential I had been ignoring. The dreams and goals that I had pushed to the background started to feel real again. Choosing to let go of these habits was a journey, and to be honest with you guys, it's still ongoing. Some days are easier than others, but each day that I'm free from those vices, I feel more aligned with my purpose. By not numbing myself, I'm able to feel everything. The highs, the lows, the successes, and the struggles. I'm more engaged in my life, and I'm more in tune with what actually fucking matters. Breaking free from those toxic habits wasn't about giving up on pleasure and fun. It's about giving up on that false version of myself so I could sit back and experience the real one. And if there's one thing that I could pass on, it's this. Holding on to toxic vices might feel comfortable, but that comfort is a cage, and real growth only happens when you step outside of it. When you're willing to let go of those things that hold you back. It's not easy. You'll struggle at first, but help yourself by getting rid of those temptations. Distance yourself away from people that use those vices. Give yourself busy work so you don't think about these things. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's worth it. Becoming the person you want to become starts with freeing yourself from habits that make you stuck. For me, getting rid of those habits wasn't about getting rid of something negative. It was about making room for something better and something real. And that's a journey that I'll always be grateful for. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I appreciate everybody that watched this video. Like and sub if you like this video. If you didn't like it, dislike and unsub. But regardless, just make sure you don't make the same mistakes I did. And if you already made those mistakes, it's okay. You have time to recommend them. You are not stuck. You are not compliant. You can do this. And I hope you do.